Right, it's cold this morning in Scotland. Remember this? Talking about that last week, little exercise for everyone to do. Thanks very much for everyone who did their homework. I like that. Let's get into it. Remember the top of the club passing the bottom of the club then closing? That's getting discussed today. So yeah, thanks to everyone who did this little drill, which was top of the club passing the bottom of the club through impact, then the club face closing. How did you all get on? Tricky, lots of comments left below, some really good answers. A lot of the answers were, and quite rightly so, were that it's impossible to do. It's impossible to get the top of the club to pass the bottom of the club. Absolutely, it is. That's the correct answer. I was just checking that microphone's on place. That's fine. So professional. So yes, getting the top of the club to pass the bottom of the club actually is impossible. Okay, so I gave you guys a task to go out there and try getting that motion, getting that part to pass that part. I mean, there you go. You'd have a negative loft on the golf club, so it's not going to happen, and then get it closing. We can get it closing all right, but we can't get the top to pass the bottom. But it's the feelings you were feeling. It was those feelings you were creating when you were trying to do it that's the most important thing. So going back to all my other videos where I mentioned that real and feel are very different. So you were trying to feel as though you were getting the top of the club to pass the bottom, perceiving that you're getting as close as possible, but you weren't getting it. Well, never getting the top to pass the bottom, that'd be impossible. But you feel as though you are, therefore a lot of you mentioned that strike became better when you felt as though you got into that position. Oh, hello. So what do we learn from it? What can you learn from that? Get the top of the club to pass the bottom of the club, then closing. Top of the club to pass the bottom, then closing. What do we learn from that? So learning from that, top passing bottom. That gets us into a position where we get some forward shaft lean on the golf club. So top passing bottom, we come down, we tried to get the top of the club to pass the bottom, which created forward shaft lean. Okay, that takes loft off the club. This shaft leaning forward means it's less lofted. So I've got 7-iron here, which is roughly 35 degrees, old school, 35 degrees, and then at impact, the dynamic loft at impact, because I've got the top section of the club passing the bottom, I've taken loft off. Taking loft off, maybe a little bit lower ball flight, maybe a little bit more penetrating flight. May have learnt that, may have experienced that. So we gained some forward shaft lean. How did we gain forward shaft lean? Probably the same as I gained forward shaft lean, by using your hands. So there we're trying to get the top to pass the bottom, so we've done that. So we've got forward shaft lean by using the hands. If you look back at my last video talking about hand path, Homer Kelly in the golf machine, that says that the hands are the command post of the golf swing. Hands are the command post of the golf swing, like that. So they're controlling the club head, club path, the lock, because that's the only point of contact with the golf club. So yeah, what do? We put our hands forward. We put our hands forward, which takes loft off, it gives us forward shaft lean. Okay. Now that looks a little bit of a crazy position because we're out of angles here. Going back to my flying left wedge position, we're not going to get that. Previous video, I'll put that up in the top left hand corner. But we've created forward shaft and we've decreased the loft. Strike's got a little bit better. Okay. Another thing we've done, just hit one, dang, hit one properly. Another thing we've done there, getting into this position of hands ahead, which has got the top to almost past the bottom, or it feels like it's passing the bottom to us. But those hands being ahead in that position, there, has flattened the left wrist. So we've now got a flat left wrist. Flat left wrist is one of the imperatives of the golf swing. There's 3, that's one of them. So we've got a flat left wrist and we've decreased loft slightly with forward shaft lean. So therefore we're going to get more compression, we're going to get ball turf strikes, so strikes should get better. Then we turn through, so top of the club passing bottom, top passing bottom, then turning, then closing. Decreased loft, flat left wrist, club face closing. Decreased loft, therefore flat left wrist and club face closing. There, closing. Ball turf strike. We're moving low point of the golf swing just from trying to get the top of the club to pass the bottom. So we're moving the low point of this swing arc. This club head arc makes a low point. Okay, we're able to move that low point now by getting some forward shaft lean, flat left wrist, and club closing. Ball turf strike. It should have felt much purer if you got this right, but as I say, we're using the hands to create this. If we get the body turning as well, where do we stop? As I say, the hands are the command post, so that's our point of contact with the golf club, so that's what we're going to use to feel these positions. We know all about body turn, so if I can incorporate some body turn into all that as well, you can see, referring back to my last video about the left arm flying wedge, how that's all going to fall into place. Okay. Mr. Hume, golf professional, mentioned to me the other day messaged me on Facebook saying that Ben Hogan's supination of the left hand into impact will feel as though, feeling real thing, very different, will feel as though the top of the club passes the bottom. Ben Hogan's supination of the left hand. That's a ping I-210. It's nice. So Mr. Hogan comes down into impact. Mr. Hogan, he's the man. Mr. Hogan comes down into impact, he's here, there. His left wrist, there, is pointing behind him as the club comes down, pointing behind him as the club comes down. Then as it comes down towards impact, I'll try and hold on to the club, so there, his left wrist, that's not easy to hold, but his left wrist is now pointing back and more up the way, so it's starting to supinate. There, then he comes down into impact, and his left wrist is now pointing up in this direction. Therefore the back of the left wrist is pointing towards target, going downwards like so. Flat left wrist, and he turns through. That's exactly what we're after. It's exactly the feeling we're after. It's that supination of the left wrist, that hands being the command post, going down. We'll try and show you Hogan's left wrist from a better position. Oh yes. So as Hogan comes down, his left wrist is pointing behind him. Then as he gets into, I'm just going to go a slight angle here, so I'm hitting this way. Comes down there. Then as he comes into this position, so now his club's level to the ground and his left wrist is pointing, or his back of his left hand, sorry, is pointing back towards him and up a fraction because the badge on his badge and his glove start to point down the way because it's starting to supinate like so. Then when he gets into here, about a yard before impact with the club head, if he was to open his left hand, get down here, if he was to open his left hand there, it would be pointing back up the way, up towards his right shoulder, or to the right of his right shoulder, but it's pointing towards the sky. Therefore the club's closing, the left wrist's flat, and he can continue through from there. Hogan comes down into impact. There's impact position there. If you open his left wrist, you can see his left hand, it points back up towards right shoulder, or just outside right shoulder. And the club's continuing down and through as it rotates, left wrist nice and flat. Therefore in that position, if I was to lift the club up from there, let's just lift it straight up his impact position, you can see the top's trying to pass the bottom as it closes. Therefore his command post, his left hand is going downwards, forwards and outwards, just like the club headers do. So it's coming downwards, it's going forwards towards target and out towards the golf ball. As Mr. Hogan comes down into impact, his left hand and club head are doing the same thing. So they're both coming down, they're both going forwards towards target, and they're both going out towards the golf ball. Downwards, forwards and outwards. So downwards. And we're continuing forwards towards target and out towards golf ball, but it's still going downwards. That's what's making his left wrist pop back up the way, his left hand pop back up the way. That is getting the top of the club over the bottom. So at the end of all that, you should feel as though you've got more ball turf strike, you've got more penetrating ball flight, and all we tried to do was create that position, that motion using the hands. Well done everyone, that was brilliant. Thanks very much to everyone who took part in the exercise and everyone who left a comment below. If you want some more exercises or anything, just let me know. Subscribing to the channel is important. There's 66% of my viewers are not subscribed to the channel, which I think is pretty average across YouTube, to be fair. But if you guys all subscribe, it would be great. I think we'll maybe do a 20,000 sub giveaway. So once we get to 20,000 subscribers, everyone that's a subscriber, all 20,000, will be entered into winning a prize of some description, which is to be announced.